Welcome to Section 2 of Module 3. In this section, we will introduce the Housing Search Assistance Toolkit and its 5 categories. A housing specialist will be able to provide more effective assistance during the search process depending on the client's category of homelessness. First, let's explore why the Housing Search Assistance Toolkit is so important. Due to multiple factors such as housing shortages for low-income families, strict screening criteria, and complex past housing and credit history, it is challenging for homeless people to navigate the housing market. The Housing Search and Placement Service can address many of the barriers faced by homeless people. We have learned a lot about homelessness in recent decades, such as whom and why people become homeless. In order to better tailor our approach and service delivery, we need to be able to recognize the different types of homelessness caused by different sets of circumstances. There are 3 different types of homelessness. Situational homelessness, which typically describes individuals who become homeless after experiencing a crisis. Common causes can be job loss, healthcare emergency, fire, domestic abuse, and natural disasters. These individuals are temporarily homeless due to the specific situation in their life. The second type is called episodic homelessness, which generally refers to individuals who experience short periods of homelessness because they have little financial buffers for times of emergency. They tend to have less stable jobs. Lastly, there is chronic homelessness, which refers to individuals who spend a great deal of their life on the streets and for longer periods of time. Typically, they are faced with issues like substance abuse or mental health conditions that impede on the ability to reconnect to their communities. Now that we've reviewed the 3 different types of homelessness, let's take a closer look at the Housing Search Assistance Toolkit. The Housing Search Assistance Toolkit is a resource developed to help organizations provide more efficient and effective housing search services. This toolkit provides models of other successful programs and includes links to additional resources as well. Most importantly, the toolkits provide a wide range of forms, contracts, checklists, and other resources that can be utilized. The Housing Search Assistance Toolkit is divided into 5 main categories. The first section, Program Startup, examines different models to organize and provide housing search services within a community. While the other 4 sections of this toolkit are mainly for housing specialists, this portion is intended for administrators, system planners, and agency directors who would like to implement housing search services within their agency. The second section, Landlord Outreach and Recruitment, contains resources and tips on recruiting and cultivating positive relationships with landlords in your community. The third section, Client Assessments and Case Management, provides resources to aid staff in assessing clients' needs, establishing service plans, and helping clients overcome barriers to obtain and sustain permanent housing while providing tenants education as well. The fourth section, Conducting the Housing Search, contains resources to help clients with their housing search process, such as sample scripts to use when calling landlords, a guide to help clients interpret and better understand their lease, and an apartment comparison checklist. And the final portion is called the Client Retention and Stabilization, which provides resources for housing specialists in delivering effective ongoing support to help clients sustain long-term housing. Now we will explore some common models for organizing and delivering housing search assistance within a community. Under a centralized single-function model, one agency is designated to provide housing search and placement services in the community. The agency has specific staff dedicated to helping clients with housing services. The second model is decentralized, single-function model, with several different agencies that provide clients with housing search assistance in the community. They would also have one or more staff whose sole function is to provide housing search and stabilization assistance. And lastly is the decentralized model, which is a multiple function model where several different agencies provide clients with housing services assistance. However, Often due to limited resources, there are no staff devoted solely to providing housing search assistance. Instead, clients often work with the case manager on addressing other issues in addition to housing. The second section of the toolkit has to do with landlord outreach and recruitment. Establishing good relationships with landlords is extremely important and can have many benefits. Landlords may hold apartments for your clients, waive application fees, or agree to lock in rent payments for good tenants. Oftentimes, the clients we work with are individuals who are either homeless or at risk of homelessness. They often possess multiple barriers to finding housing, which is why the role of the housing specialist is so crucial. Providers must oftentimes act as intermediary to clients by providing tenant and conflict resolution assistance. It is essential to respond quickly to landlord requests for help and follow through to ensure that they will continue to work with your clients. The client intake and assessment process is used to determine the level of support clients will need to succeed in private housing. Each client is different and may require different levels of assistance. Appropriate assessment is essential since the need for housing far exceeds available resources. Each community uses its own unique approach to delivering services to homeless families and individuals. At the agency level, the approach to client intake will vary depending on how clients are entered into the system. If a community has an open door policy, client intake may be done by several different agencies. In contrast, if there is a single point of entry or streamlined entry, client intake may be done by one central agency, which then refer clients to the programs and services most suited to the client's needs. The toolkit contains sample templates to assist with the client intake and case management process. Please tailor the tools to the specific needs of your organization and community as necessary. Conducting the actual housing search can be very time-intensive. Some of your clients will need more assistance than others, so it may be wise to triage clients according to their needs. For example, individuals with the most severe barriers may need help through the entire process, including locating vacant units, scheduling appointments, viewing apartments, and negotiating with landlords. In contrast, other clients may want to conduct the housing search independently. The toolkit provides worksheets and checklists to guide your clients through their search. Lastly, the success of a housing search program depends not only on its ability to place clients in appropriate housing, but also on its ability to provide clients with adequate support so they can maintain that housing. As a result, this section of the toolkit is designed to aid housing specialists in helping clients retain housing for the long term. This concludes Section 2 of Module 3. Please complete the activity below to revisit some key components of this section.